Can somebody share the agenda? I can't do it. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And my distractions, yeah, all the things at the same time. I think that my New Year's resolution, definitely, I think along with everybody, want to be more active in the forum. I want to, man, I had a whole list and now I can't think of it. I don't know. I froze. But yeah, being more active in the forum is one of them. I feel like I had some good answers and I can't think of them now, but I'm going to pass it. I will pass it to Nicola. Do you want to go?
Yes. Okay, I hope you can hear me. So I'm feeling great. I'm just cooking something for Ashley because she said it's gonna be a long day, so I need to cook something for us. That's my only distraction in the background. My intentions for the next year, looking into Giveth, would be definitely I want to improve the way I focus. I want to improve my focus. Improve my focus and also stabilize gravity, support, and I feel like one more thing that I do want to make sure that we work on together this year would be this future of verification processes and how to make it more decentralized or just more better. Sorry guys, you obviously can say I'm distracted right now. So I just wanna sync up, see your others, insights for the day and for the week, and maybe I just stop talking because I feel like I'm just saying nonsense. Sorry. I'm gonna pass it to Almond.
Sure. Thank you, Nicola. So, how am I feeling? I'm feeling much more rested. I'm feeling motivated for the new year and for all the community building plans and ideas that are coming in the near future. And my intentions for the call. My resolution related to your role within Giveth. Yeah, I'm very excited around the community ambassador program that we're starting to cook. I think that for me is my main resolution, to be able to make the team excited about this initiative, to try to promote it and to make it a reality. I think that it could have great potential. I'm working at the background, so maybe that's my distraction. And my intentions for the call is to share about the tomorrow's trivia, the updates for the Spanish radio program and the updates on the community ambassadors. And I'll pass it to Lauren.
I didn't intentions for the call other than like just to hang out and listen. I don't usually come to this call, but I like coming to it because you guys are always up to interesting things. And then I think this like question about New Year's resolutions for the Giveth role is really interesting, and I haven't thought very in depth about it except just now. But yeah, I want to spend a little less time getting like having to do like small like micromanaging review things, and a little bit more time on kind of like processes and delegation, and also just like do even a little bit less calm stuff and a little bit more on the development side. I'm excited to take on the quadratic funding on Giveth project and start managing that. So it's kind of like I'm leaning towards that. I've like almost given up like trying to be better at the forum. I'm like, oh, it's too hard. I can't. But yeah, I love the question, Ashley, and I'm going to spend actually more time thinking about it and maybe create some more concrete resolutions. I will pass it to Jake.
Thank you. I'm feeling a little tired still from the long weekend of celebration. Intentions for the call, just listen in. I know we didn't have it last week, so just it's been a couple weeks now, so just listen in. And it's good to see a lot of people that are back from their vacays. Hope they're well rested. No distractions other than my food might be arriving, so I might have to step away for a minute. And like Lauren was saying, I love the question. I haven't given it much thought. I think the easy one is the forum one, because we could all get in there a little bit more. So I'll definitely use that one as the easy one. But as Lauren suggested too, I think it's really cool to sit down and think about that and put something on paper. So I'll leave it at that for now and pass it to Corey.
Thanks, Jake. I'm feeling good, a little tired, but otherwise good. Intentions for the call is just to see what the priorities are this month in Communitas, since the first call of the new year after a break. And let's see, no distractions. And it's a good question that I also don't have a fully prepped answer for this time, but I think for sure one thing is I'd love to align comms more with the overall, goals of Giveth, especially in relation to like outreach and whatever the goals are at that time, which at the moment is like getting new donors. And just ensuring that, we're building more of a bridge, I think, between those efforts and between like what we can execute on the comm side to support that. Because I think that would make a big impact. The ambassador program goes along with that. I'm also really excited about that because I think that's a way for us to get in front of a lot of new people. So, otherwise, for sure, the forum, getting more into governance things as I now get NR Give tokens and things like that. So, yeah, that's all I've got for today. And I think actually, did you go yet?
No, I can take it, Corey. Thank you.
Okay, cool.
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good that I'm away from home for a couple of weeks. And my intention for the call is just catching up. Just syncing up and see what's going on. Distractions at the moment, it's just catching up with messages that I've had from the last couple of days. And my resolution relative to my role, like, I guess that, just keep on learning and be more involved with different working groups that I haven't been like very like active in. So, and definitely as well, like getting some NR Give this year. I think I'm going to be eligible at some point this year and be more active in the voting as well. And of course, like finishing with the catching up in the rewards, the praise system. That would be an amazing thing to finish this year. I'm happy that it's moving forward. And back to you, Ash.
I thought it was a great question too. Nicola kind of brought it up, like maybe we should share this, and I thought it was a great idea. So thanks everybody for sharing that. And yeah, it's great to think about. All right. The community events that we know of coming up this year are the trivia takeover of the AMA tomorrow, which is just kind of like, we just want to have some fun. When we already have some trivia questions made when we had trivia for One Hive, plus Almond and I put some fun things together. If anybody else wants to come up with some questions, that would be fun too. I think that, to be fair, anybody with like a unicorn role wouldn't be qualified to get the prize in the end, but I'm not really sure who will show up, so we can kind of see how that goes. But it's confirmed. We've got like the comps have already gone out, so this only really the support needed there is just to invite more people or come and have fun if you want to join us. And then this GM podcast that we're working on with Griff, the first episode is, we're hoping to be on 111. It's still kind of to be confirmed. I don't know. Do you have more on that, Almond?
Sure. Actually, that was something that I wanted to bring up to the comms call as well, but the idea is to start on the 11. We have recorded 2 episodes now, and we're willing to have a third one recorded this week. So yeah, I would like to hear your thoughts, taking advantage to that Lauren and Corey are here as well, if you think that maybe the 11 is too soon. But I was thinking and prepare an email to send the big news that we are launching the podcast, and then maybe a tweet just saying the news. We are willing to launch on the Wednesday at the same time that we regularly prepare and schedule the Twitter Spaces. So this is going to be streamed live at 9 a.m. Well, it's my 9 a.m. Next Wednesday, but yeah, what do you think?
Wait, I have a question. So we're doing, the podcasts are going to be recorded Twitter Spaces? I thought they were like separately recorded and then prepared and polished and then sent out.
Yeah, they are separately recorded, but then the platform in which we are using to record them, they allowed as well to how do you say, to stream alive, even though it's not live. You know what I mean? So it's like a live of a video that was recorded before that you can schedule to be streamed every, like, whatever day and time that you want or you decide.
And it's going to be like live streamed from Twitter as the platform, or it's like we're sending a link through Twitter to a live stream of the video somewhere else?
We were thinking that it would be cool to actually stream it live through Twitter and YouTube, and actually you can have multi-platforms that can be at the same time stream live. So we can sync, let's say, 3 platforms: Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And in those 3, the video is going to be streamed at the same time. And then you can find it in YouTube as well. But you can actually have a multi-stream in 3 different platforms at the same time.
I'm just a little like concerned about having it the same day as the Twitter Spaces. Maybe we don't want to have like competing fun things, because if we're doing the Twitter Spaces still on Wednesdays and we have the podcast, it's like, where do we want to direct people? So maybe we can pick a different day, but otherwise I think it's a cool plan.
Cool, perfect. Thanks for your feedback. Yeah, of course, we that was not set in stone. It was just like an idea to continue, let's say, to have kind of like frequency in the speak content that we are making. But for sure, we can pick another day. Maybe I don't know, what do you think? Maybe Friday, that is like more of a fun, chill day, or more at the beginning of the week?
Or were you thinking of like having it Twitter Space 1 week, podcast 2nd week, like that, staggered?
Exactly.
Oh yeah, actually no, I think that's cool. That's good. Let's just do it that way, like you're suggesting.
One thing I just want to add is like, why 9 a.m. on a weekday? Like, is there a reason? Is it because of like, I don't know, that's when our audience is mostly on Twitter, or?
Well, we picked that time and day because it was the time slot that our team was have more availability. Sorry. So yeah, it was more because of our team than rather to strategically select a time.
Okay, so to have people joining the Twitter space from our team to give it exposure, is that what you mean?
Exactly. And also if, I don't know, someone is hosting or participating this day, just to make sure that none of the calls were overlap at the same time. So it was more because of like that time to not overlap with other calls.
My 2 cents would be like, I'm not sure how many people have time 9 a.m. on a Wednesday to like tune in to a Twitter space or to like listen in on a podcast. I know for sure that that's difficult. That would be difficult for me, for any other organization, like to be joining in. So I don't know. I kind of like the Friday idea, perhaps around noon, when people have lunch breaks, when people like, I don't know, would be more likely perhaps to listen in on a podcast. It might be a little bit different if we're giving like significant updates or we have a product launch or something, because people would tune in like to get that information, but just to listen in on a podcast, like, I don't know. I think doing it on a more chill day where it's not right in the beginning of like the work day might be something to consider.
Well,
And
also
then,
if we're doing, sorry to cut you off, but if we're also doing pre-recorded episodes of this podcast, then maybe that allows us, like, we don't need to necessarily do it live. We could choose whatever time to stream it live on Twitter, and the podcast itself will be available at all times, so people can just like watch it whenever they're available. Is it valuable to have it be available live?
I think it's cool to promote it that way. Like, it's still going to be available, right, to go on a podcast app, I assume, and like listen to it anytime. And then there's ways to promote it and stuff. But like, I think it's an interesting idea to test it out through Twitter Spaces. Like, but I just don't know how much engagement or how much people would really tune in at that time, like on a 9 a.m. Wednesday morning, 9 a.m. any like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I could see it being a little bit easier Thursday, Friday, and maybe doing something, like I said, like lunchtime, because then for Europeans, that's right after work. That'll be like early evening European time. And then it's like lunchtime for North America. That's when people have breaks to maybe like fiddle around on Twitter. And like, I think people are scrolling all day in between their work, but to actually listen in on something is a different thing. So I don't want to belabor the point too much. I just wanted to mention that's kind of where that's my 2 cents on that. I think it's a cool idea though to test out.
Yeah, especially because there's no one really doing something like that. So I think that's a cool differentiator, just like to stream it live in multi-platforms and see the response. But for sure, like, again, it's not set in stone. We can choose a Friday or a Thursday for streaming the podcast. And we can keep doing our Twitter spaces on Wednesdays if you still like that day. I think that till now it has worked, but maybe we can maybe, I don't know, Friday to launch the podcast. So that would be on the 13th, which maybe it can be a lucky day. So maybe we can aim for the 13th. And it would be every 2 weeks. The 13 at, I don't know, 10 a.m. maybe.
Yeah, sounds good to me. I think we should let's just go for the 13th at 10 a.m. and then see how it goes. We can always change it later.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect. I'll start preparing everything for launch on the 13th.
Okay, great. And the designs on that, do we have all the designs that we need since we're talking about it?
Yeah, we have all the designs until now. For the new episodes, we might need new designs but for the ones that are already done, we are good.
Okay, great. All right. So then, this Give Power workshop, the part 2, since Lauren's here. Hey, it's so handy when you come to this call sometimes. I love it. This part 2, we wanted to do another part 2 of Give Power workshop. Have we thought into like when we wanted to do this, or it's just like kind of still on the table?
I was just messaging Amin about it. I think it would be great to do this like in maybe a couple of weeks, but the last time we did it was over Christmas time, sort of last minute, didn't really expect too many people to come. But if we're going to be hosting a workshop like this, I think it would be really valuable to do outreach, maybe in like partner discords. Like a lot of people have been sending me messages about like how Give Power is cool, and they're mostly kind of like builders and different people in this space. And I would love it if we could make the workshop kind of targeted towards like the people who are using it, make space to answer any questions, and then like also get feedback from people. I think it would also be really valuable to get like input onto our design and see if there's like any things that we need to improve. So I would love to schedule this like sometime in the next couple of weeks, but actually like leave a week for going into other people's Discords and being like, hey, we're hosting this workshop. We'd love it if you could come, and having that be a part of it rather than just like our regular tweeting about it a couple of times,
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I would like focusing it kind of more on the technical parts of Give Power and catering more towards that audience. Do you think mid to late February is too late, or
that's even fine? I mean, we can pace it around the other things we have planned. If we call it like mid-February, then it gives us like a bit of time to prepare it. And I'm wondering if Amand, you'd be down to help out with a little bit of that, like creating kind of like template and like brainstorming for like the right groups to outreach to. And are you able to help with that?
Yeah, of course. I can help with the outreach. I like more, as you were saying, like the one-on-one, handpick, just going there and invite people. So for sure, I can do that.
So Ashley, you're saying like mid-February because we have other things planned, right? Before then?
I was just saying that because we just did one in December, so I was just wanting to give some space, and if we wanted to do more of this personal outreach, we could. But we could, I think, as far as things that are scheduled, we could do it sooner in one of the AMA slots if we wanted. Let's see.
Maybe Almond can decide and have it say like, at least let's give ourselves like 2 to 3 weeks to do planning. So either like kind of late Jan or early February or mid-February, whatever you think. But I'll leave it in Almond's hands to pick what she thinks is best.
Okay, cool.
Perfect. I think, honestly, I think that late Jan, it would be good just like to not lose all the things that we've been building. So I think late Jan is cool. Maybe the last AMA of Jan, Ash, the 25.
Okay. Yeah, I think that sounds good.
Just one more thought. Would we consider some sort of sign up for this, for the workshop, considering last time, there wasn't really anyone coming? Is there a way we could, might be interesting to gauge interest in advance?
A great idea. We could even do something like a Eventbrite and then have people kind of register. I see a lot of organizations doing that even for meetings, and we've never done something like that, but it would be great to get like a little bit of feedback.
Luma, this one I wrote in the chat, like I see a lot like that works quite well. And it's just a signal, obviously it's free. It's just like a sign up here, and it'll at least give us, we'll kind of know what we're dealing with.
Yeah, I think that's great. Let's use it.
All right, I made notes here on this stuff, and yeah. Speaking of events, we've got 2 big in-person events coming up. There is ETH Denver coming up. We're having another planning sync on January 5th. So for those of you that don't know, Giveth has been invited to play like a huge part in ETH Denver this year. We're going to have a big booth in the impact area. We'll be mentoring the people participating in the hackathon impact track to advise them how to add impact. We'll be hosting impact quests so that we can make real world impact while we're doing this event in Denver. So there's a lot of big things going on. I made a doodle for the meeting on the 5th. If you want to participate, you can fill out the doodle. There's a link here. There's also a Notion where you can find like past meeting notes and like a big kind of like overview planning document that we've been working on. And last but not least, I made a ETH Denver Discord role for people who are like attending or want to collaborate on the planning. So if you don't have it or want it, or just let me know, or Giantkin can give you the role too if you want to get notified about things around ETH Denver. Is there any questions from anybody around ETH Denver stuff? Oh, I know that some people have been asking about like compensation, or if Giveth plans to cover any of the expenses of travel or accommodation or any of this type of stuff. And this is something that is on the agenda to be discussed at this meeting on Thursday. Also, I think Brian from Cut the Plastic might be able to join us for this meeting to give us some more insight on local nonprofits and how we can ask them what their needs are and design quests around meeting their needs at a local level. So that's really exciting too.
Did we hear from Shannon at all about like if we have any budget or prizes or what I don't know.
Yeah, we did. Griff heard back. He sent me the message and I put it in. I made a document already for this week's checkup, so I put that information in there. But we do have some budget. I could open it now if I wanted, but if it's important, but you could check in the document and I guess we'll talk about it. But so we've got that, and then the information kind of about the booth and what's available. She says it's pretty flexible and we can have pretty much whatever we want for the booth, so like screens and this type of thing. But again, I feel like these are all topics that will be covered in this planning session.
Okay, awesome.
Okay, and then the next one is this, the FLEA, the Latin American Forum for Impact Investing, that you've probably heard Kotabe talk a lot about. He's doing a lot of planning for how we can onboard some of the impact investors as well as projects onto Giveth during this event and take advantage of the opportunity to have kind of a standing here. The thing is this is happening at the same exact time as ETH Denver, so it's kind of splitting our resources team-wise, but I think it also serves great for those who maybe can't come to ETH Denver or would rather do something else. Like there's already a group of people showing to represent Giveth here, and there's been a lot of planning, so I think it will be nice. We can really align maybe these two events, and the resources that we create for one could be used at another. So we've been trying to keep that in mind as we move forward too. I wish Kotabe was here. I don't think, is there anybody else who knows maybe updates around this? Okay. And then next we have the Sea of Hurts. Did you want to give the updates? I put a link to the Notion that you made and also to the refi folder that Kotabe had, but maybe you want to give us some updates, Almond?
Sure. If you can open the Notion, that's there. So I just gather all the specs that the team has talked. Again, I also wish that Kotabe was here because he's going to host that show. But the idea is to have one every month, Spanish Giveth show hosted by Kotabe, in which he's going to invite organizations that are not necessarily into Web3. And the idea is to really speak about refi and Giveth in an entry level, nothing complex. So I added there kind of the resume of the conversations that we have been having, and also the roles of everyone. So the next step basically would be just to choose the first date. I just put one there, like an example that's not that's not going to happen. It was just like for Kotave to see the format of how we can organize the information there. But yeah, basically that would be the next step, just to choose a date for the first one.
Well, I don't know if we can choose that without him here, and I don't see Miguel here either. So I do see that this link for this doodle at the top is still an active doodle, so maybe it hasn't been decided and this meeting hasn't happened yet. Maybe fill it out if you're interested in participating, and then we'll just figure out the dates for these next. It'd be nice to know the date for the next Aprendamos session, the next project interview, and the next like Sea of Hurts with Giveth show, just to kind of like have some preparation for what's coming up. Just so we can, comms would want to prepare this type of thing. I guess it's also something to consider, moving forward with comms is, as we're getting more integrated with our Spanish-speaking community, is how do we communicate through our social media and some of these avenues to our Spanish-speaking community? I don't know. Maybe it's just something to think about. I know some DAOs have like a English Twitter and a Spanish Twitter. I don't know if we want to separate and have two. I don't think that that's maybe a good idea at the moment, but it's just, I think maybe something to think about. I just hadn't thought about it.
Yes, I will try to reach out to Kotave just to move forward and not take much longer on that.
Okay. All right. Well, just keep us in the loop. And then the Giveth chapter. So sorry. Did anybody have questions or want to talk any more about the Sea of Hearts thing? I don't want to just rush past it. Okay. Then the Giveth chapter in Panvala. There's a forum post up. There's an email that will go to project owners. You can review it. There's a link to review it here. And then so what are we missing? Should we schedule a call with Paul Almond, or what are our next steps?
I would love if you can just give a quick check on the email, you and Nicola, because Paul from Pambala was mentioning that we should write two emails, one for project owners and another for donors. I'm not quite sure that he is very familiar with Giveth and with like the different communities that form part of Giveth. So I don't know if that's a good strategy, to write both emails. To be honest, and maybe this is not right, but I don't even know if we have like a donors email database that we can send something. So if you can help out and check the email for me, there's a lot of information that's missing, but that's from Pambala's side. We're missing Paul mentioned at some point that we will have our own site that's only for Giveth as a chapter, but I don't see that happening yet. I already asked him on our thread for him to give us more info, but yeah, just check it out whenever you can and add your thoughts on that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, definitely. And Nicola's here. She gave thumbs up too, so I can take a look at that later on today. I'm doing a bunch of email stuff anyways.
Yeah.
Perfect. So that's moving forward. I will check it out, and if we need to set up a call to sync, we can. But I think you're probably right. He doesn't really understand the audience, so giving it a review would be good. And maybe even sending it through the review pipeline of comms before it goes out would be a good idea too.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Is there any other questions about Panvala or anything else we should say? All right. Well, as we had talked about before, we kind of were breathing life and Rainer into the project ranking subject, and we've collaborated and posted a new forum post about this like project ranking or improving the quality score that we once used. There's a link to a forum post here. Basically, we're working on building like the parameters to have more of a robust project page. It will be like a quality score like we used to have, but based off of a much better set of data. So it would take into consideration the give power, the pairwise, the impact and quantitative data like number of donations, number of likes, activity, different things like this. So if you guys have a chance or have questions about this, I just wanted to bring it up. It's something that has been in the works for a while. The thing you could do probably to support the most is maybe check out the spreadsheet. Obviously, read the forum post, but check out the spreadsheet of the different like point allocation or the different weights of what things would be worth, and maybe make some comments in the spreadsheet. That would be super helpful, because really it's just about like trying to define some initial parameters that we can just try and see how that goes, and yeah, see what kind of value we can bring and balance we can bring to the platform when it comes to like the curation.
Is it a good time to discuss this at all here, or just like you're thinking like FYI? Because I have just like one thought.
Yeah, I think that there's definitely some space for discussion.
Yeah, cool. So I guess the one thing I wanted to just like emphasize, or I've been thinking about with regards to this, is like I think that incorporating, like changing the way that we have the projects like sorted on the project page is really valuable, but like what we should really do, or what I would really love if we could do, is like have the givebacks percentage, like the max givebacks percentage, show up on the project cards, as well as like some kind of ranking. And the ranking could be a combination of give power and the pairwise thing and impact evaluation, etc. And then like the give backs percentage could be like ruled by give token holders. And I think like a lot, yeah, like the back and forth and frustration the and the ranking. Yeah, I just wanted to know what you think about that. Like, Griff kind of put it in his give power, give holders, control give issuance, and let's let everybody control like the projects appear, and then the way that they're like kind of favored based on that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that totally makes sense for what I caught. There was a portion of time where you were breaking up a little bit, so I didn't catch it. So maybe definitely like leave some feedback in the forum if you get a chance. I think like just to clarify, the idea here would be not to affect the percentage of give backs. Like give power would be the determining factor of give backs always. This would just determine which projects are showing up on the page under the default view, or like the quality score of these projects, of how we can bring visibility to them and like balance out essentially the plutocracy of give power.
Awesome. Yeah, I agree.
Speaking about that, I have one quick. Sorry, Kotabe's here. Go ahead, Kotabe.
Oh, sorry, I just came in. I fell asleep. I don't know what you're talking about right now.
Sorry, I saw your mic open and I thought that you wanted to say something. Sorry. No, just on that topic. I know that one of the idea is also to have a tweet regarding this ranking quality score. I went to the issue preparing this tweet, but still I'm kind of confused around the call to action of this tweet. It would be a tweet that will send people to the forum post for them to review and comment, or what would be the focus of the tweet?
Yeah, I think that the focus of the tweet should be like, we should keep it as neutral as possible without saying like, okay, we're thinking exactly this, but like we're looking into the way that projects are being like organized on our platform. We'd love to have other parameters in there, including like impact measurements, et cetera, et cetera. If this interests you, join the forum for discussion.
Perfect. Yeah, I know that Ashley also wanted to talk to other project owners. So Ash, maybe this can also be aligned with the effort that you were trying to do. So I can draft something and then send it to you just to see if this also aligns with your idea.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think that sounds good. I think that getting the opinions of people outside of our like inner circle is really important on topics like this. I'm not sure, did anybody else have any questions about it, or we can also just take it to the forum too. It's fine. It's a community. It's not like a time sensitive proposal, although we do want to start like developing something, or like just start seeing what we can plug in different, stimulating, I guess, just seeing different numbers. So, but it's not time sensitive. It's not like it's in advice process and going up to the DAO or anything like this. It's in the community section of the forum. So ideation, brainstorming, gathering feedback, and once we feel complete, then we can start moving forward on the next steps. All right. Punk domains. Franco, they're coming to the community call this week. Is there anything
Yes.
that we need to know about this?
I don't think so. I've been talking to them today, and they're gonna do the presentation on Thursday. Yeah, just if anyone has any questions, just give the project a read, and whatever comes to mind, just pinpoint it in your head so you can ask it on Thursday. But yeah, I think this is like a really cool opportunity for us to partner with them. I think their idea is pretty cool, and like long term could be something. I don't know. I know that Mitch had some questions about like if like the usability in like different networks, and I don't know, like some like technical stuff that I'm not really aware of. But yeah, everything's ready, and they're preparing the presentation and talking with them, and yeah, that's it.
Okay, cool. I did have kind of one question around this, and this is like as far as process goes, you know, you've been facilitating this partnership with Punk Domains, and I know that Jake has been doing a lot with partnerships and like this partnership program and different things within the HubSpot. Like at what point does the Punk Domains become a potential partner to a current partner, and what's the best way, like Jake, what do you think is the best way in a situation like this where we find out about new partnerships and they come and they present, how do we transfer them to being then like an official partner?
I mean, for how I've gone about it is just finding out what the partnership is, if it's a marketing, if it's a development, if it's integration, and then going to that working group and ensuring that working group wants it to be a partnership. And then if it does, then yeah, like then it's like going all in with the partnership and bringing in the right working groups. But that's kind of the structure of how it's been playing out, is finding out what's going to work best for both sides to make sure that it's mutual. I mean, we have a lot of marketing partnerships already, and we already have so much comms going on that if it's just a marketing partnership, that can be probably one of the more difficult ones to move forward with probably right at the moment. But yeah, the first thing is just trying to get a full evaluation and understanding of the partnership, or have research on our side, knowing going in, okay, this is our understanding of so-and-so and what we can use to help build Giveth. So be a little, I guess, selfish, if you want to say, on the first half, and ensure that it matches what we need. And then after that research, you'll find out what they need as well, and then linking it together and then go into that working group.
Okay, great. I just wanted to bring a little bit of definition because I know it's still something that we're exploring and we're just coming up with these processes. So it's good to define them as well.
Yeah, it's definitely great to talk about it a little bit, just so that we're not always targeting marketing and Twitter and those type of partnerships, because I know we're pretty heavily loaded with that stuff already. So we really want to ensure that the partnerships are maybe at this moment a little more quality versus quantity, and just get a couple people's input on it before saying, yeah, we can move forward with it. And Corey's really good about speaking to as well if it is marketing, and I'm really good as well if it is marketing or anything else. But let's really try to target partnerships that kind of integrate into Giveth, and we integrate into them on a more working relationship than just a Twitter blast.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. There's a difference between friends of Giveth and partners of Giveth, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Cool. Well, I made a little note there. Just keep Jake in the loop, Franco, as this progresses, and if it becomes something official, we'd want to just make sure we get it added into HubSpot.
Cool. Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. The next topic is the project survey. Claire's not here to speak to this, but we have it in type form ready to go. I'm not sure if we have gathered enough feedback on it to move forward or not, but the next steps would be to then create a plan to present to comms team. And I think that with this survey, the comms team can decide when's the best time to start promoting this in regards to the relation with all of our other content going out at the time. But it's hard to speak more to it without Claire here. And we already talked about the podcast, interactive map of projects. This is also something that we would want Claire to be here for, but I know that there's a lot of information in both issues as well as the forum posts. They're talking with devs. There's been a couple devs looking into to putting something together, and I think Santi even put together just like a simple Google map that is tracking our projects as of right now, so that's really interesting to look at. I know a lot of them are giving block projects, so they come up as the United States, but it's still cool to go in there and see. So maybe check it out, but the discussion is still ongoing. And praise updates. Do we have any praise updates, Franco?
So I just opened this week's period, and yeah, no, I just tagged everyone, all the quantifiers that will be been drafted for this week in the rewards channel. So just take a look if you're a quantifier, and I'll be sending messages through the private DM praise bot. And yeah, that's it. We are already at May 2022, so everything's moving forward. And if everything goes like this, we should be maybe like next month, like maybe end of February, we'll be up to date, and we can like take a more slow rhythm with the quantifications.
That's cool. I'm very excited for this. Okay. And then the rewards team call is bi-weekly, and the next one is the 30th? Or wait, no.
No, that was last month. Yeah, no. I need to figure out this. I'll probably talk with the rewards team today with Danny, because I don't know if I'm gonna be available this week to the call, but I think maybe this week or next week. I don't know, but I'll talk with Danny and try to figure that out, because I know it's on the calendar and it's for maybe not this week but next week. So yeah, but I'll keep you posted about that.
Cool, thanks. Yeah, and for anyone in this call that isn't signed up as a quantifier and is interested about it, just let Franco know. We need more quantifiers. So we're just trying to make it through the backlog of praise that we have now. It's actually really cool to go through and see kind of this other image of like this insider view of Giveth, of what was happening here, 6 months ago or 5 months ago, and it gets closer to the present. But it's really interesting. So if you're interested in participating and you haven't yet signed up, let Franco know. We need more quantifiers. And conflict resolution check-in. You want to just do it on here?
Nothing new so much. We just have our regular sync up second Friday next week. Next Friday. It's Claire, me, and Heather is joining, and we had a cool sync up. And yeah, my plan is just to organized before the meeting, organized the Notion page, so it's all updated, and yeah, it's all for now. Yeah.
I have one question / suggestion for the conflict resolution. I was thinking that, well, speaking with different people from the team, I think that we all agree that the conflict resolution group is amazing, but I think that we still don't know or have like a lot of gaps in the program. So I was thinking that it would be cool to organize a Giveth Essential session. It not need to have like it not be need to be an hour long. It can be shorter if you think that maybe 1 hour is too much. But I don't know if you think that that would be a good idea, just to organize the session around gravity and how to use it and how's the process and when is it useful, and just to light a little bit more the team about it.
I love that idea a lot, Almond, and I think it's going to be definitely on the plate too. My plan and idea is right now, as I'm seeing that, okay, I'm going to organize my thoughts. The process that we have set up right now, it's okay, and it can be really improved. I'm already collecting insights, so we need to, I just feel like we need to develop little better systems for people to deal with tension, and before we, do essential session, before we can introduce this, and so yeah, I'll just take a little more time to compile. And I think before we do the essential session, I was also talking about creating a forum post and talk a little more about gravity and gather more insights from community. So that's also something that I feel like it's important to gather more insights and see what type of conflict people even encounter, or how they can feel more, inspired to share feedback between each other, maybe with the help of mediator. Just bring some other better processes for the way we deal with things and improve our HR. And I feel like it's going to be just a process, and we'll evolve it as we grow. So yeah, it's just hard for me to be very specific, because I want to gather just more collective intelligence around this. Yeah.
Sure. Whenever you think is more clear or ready to share something more grounded, we can organize a session.
Thank you. Yeah, I love that.
Cool, that's exciting too. All right, so many good things coming up this year. And speaking of another one that was I know the D-Work and Builders, I don't think that there's been any movement there, and there was a lot of desires expressed about wanting to talk about the ambassador program in our check-in, so maybe we can use these last 5 minutes to talk about the ambassador program. Was there something you wanted to share, Almond?
Yeah, so I think that a great first step that you suggested was create a research around the ambassadors programs that are out there. So that's the link, if you can click it. There, the research that I prepared, just gathering the info that I found around different ambassador programs. Some of them are not active anymore, but I thought that it was cool just to put them to have a parameter of seeing the different programs of the protocols or education projects or NFT projects. So there's like a bunch of ambassadors programs that I found. Really, all of them have kind of like the same profile. They're calling people that like to talk, that like to learn, that like to get involved in a community, and basically the tasks are really interesting too. Some of them are more focused in creating articles, other in creating events, other are more into translations. But basically, the idea for all of these programs is to represent each of these projects and create a community that's engaged and help onboard people to each of these programs. And it was interesting too, the benefits, there are not really a lot of benefits that I found. Some of them were offering tokens of the projects. Some of them, it was just for for example, the first one is like, be part of the movement, learn and grow. So it's not really, I found that the benefits were not really like tangible or like specific. And yeah, I think that this can be a really good start to build something that can be just to fit perfectly to Giveth and to have way more benefits than the ones that I found here, meaning praise, meaning maybe the NFT collection that we are preparing. So yeah, I would love if the people that are interested in this ambassador program can check this research out, because I think that we can target a lot of ideas and detonate a lot of ideas after just like going through this research.
Wow, I mean, this is so cool. That's so much research and so many different templates that we could kind of work with and leverage to make something new without having to rebuild the wheel. And I think you're completely right with the benefits as far as we have some other things that we can offer that maybe some of these communities were able to, like praise and things like this. So this is so cool.
Yeah, I know that. Well, Kotabe also reached out last week mentioning that he was interested in this program. So maybe to move forward, we can create a hacking session or discuss it on the next week community call. I think that both options are good options.
Yeah, we can definitely discuss it a bit more maybe next week. Or do you mean on the big community call or on our next community builder call?
On our next community building call.
Yeah, I think this is a great thing to jump into, and I think it's a good thing to use some of our call time for. So we can definitely make some time for it next week. And then if there's some tasks that can be defined, or if we need a bigger hack session, I think we can develop that. You think that, I mean, once we kind of have some research put together, the next step would be forum post, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking that the next step would be jumping the forum to gather signaling from the community and also to brainstorm more. So yeah, I think that's definitely the next step.
Cool. Well, we're at the top of the hour. Our CTA section, nothing really new this week. It's pretty much the same things, Twitter Space ideas, Giveth essential ideas, and then we still have the share onboarding topic in there. But sorry we couldn't circle back around to Kotabe's things. Maybe you could leave us an update in the Communitas headquarters of the Flea status and maybe the Sea of Hearts status, so that we can catch up on what the status is with those initiatives. That would be awesome. All right, well, let's hop over to the comms call. Thank you guys so much for coming in. So great to see you again and like feel the energy of the new year and like things coming back to life. See you in comms.
Thank you, Ash. Bye-bye.